For many cars, this is the end of the road. It's the place where many a Dodge will be disassembled, a place where Fords are fractured and tons of Toyotas are torn apart. Every year, hundreds of worn-out cars are stripped of valuable parts at the Spaulding Auto Parts Yard in Spokane Valley.
We receive these cars within a 250-mile radius. Vehicles come in, we dismantle them to some degree, and then the main part of the bodies go out to the yard for future sales.
And once they've been stripped of every salvageable part, they're hauled off to the back of the lot, plopped in place, and crushed. These hulks will soon be transformed into reinforcement bar and washing machines. But some cars, the lucky cars, avoid this fate.
This car is just made out of pieces. The fenders are often one thing. The hood, I had the hood made. This is a reproduction grill shell.
They are the once derelict Fords found by a guy named Willie Harms.
All my life, all I've done is fix. I don't know any other word but fix.
Harms has always been interested in cars. As a child during the Great Depression, he made his own toy cars out of scrap metal and lumber. But he learned how to rebuild wrecked cars out of necessity.
I used to paint. I had a card in the painters union when I was 18. So I'd started painting when I was 14 because I had to serve a 4-year apprenticeship. And in the wintertime, we'd get laid off. And I had a friend who was working in a body shop. Said, I'm looking for a job. I said, you got one? Well, he says, I got a 41 Cadillac over there that needs to be painted. He says, you want to paint that? So I said, yeah. I said, I'll do that. I painted and he hired me. So I've been in the body trade ever since.
One thing you notice right off in this shop is that all the cars are made by the same company.
Fords are an enduring automobile.
Willie Harms rebuilds and restores Fords. The reason? It has to do with the frugal sensibility of company founder Henry Ford.
The Ford was a well-built car. Ford went to the bearing companies and he bought the bearings and he went back and built the car. All the bearings in the Model A Ford, which is 80 years old, you can buy every one of them right over the counter. There's no other 80-year-old car in America or in the world that you can buy all the bearings for.
Some cars are combinations of parts from different years and may even include a souped-up engine. There are no manuals for the work he does. He depends on his own vision of how he wants the car to be as he's working on it.
I don't have to have it on paper. I see it in my head, and then I can transfer it from there into something.
One unlikely twist in Willie's life happened here at the Spokane Skills Center. Even though he lacked some important credentials, he was the founder and first teacher in the auto body training program.
My wife says, why did you go up there and apply for the job? And I said, they ain't gonna hire me. I said, I teach school? I said, I went to the 8th grade. I said, who in the world in their right mind would hire me? Well, she said, go up there anyway. So I said, okay. And then, by golly, about 2 weeks before school started, here come a letter in the mail with a contract in it, hiring me. I said, I can't believe this. Can't believe this.
Harms estimates that during his 16 years at the Skills Center, he had about 1,000 students. Some of them became auto body mechanics, but many did not.
A lot of them didn't do body work after they left, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. And people say, well, don't they all become body men? I said, well, I said, no. Well, I said, then what's the purpose of the class? I said, you took math in high school, didn't you? Are you a math professor? No. Well, then why'd you take math? I'd say the same thing about English or anything else. All school is, anyway, is giving you some fundamentals that you can put into practice to help you the rest of your life.
Harms left school in part because of the abuse he received at the hands of a school principal. From first-hand knowledge, he knew life would be difficult without a high school diploma, and he wanted every kid to succeed.
I remember what happened to me, and I made sure that didn't happen to any of them.
In a way, Willie Harms revealed important lessons that young people could take away from these old cars. They're lessons many of his students live by today.
Willie Harms stepped into my life at a time when I was having a hard time in high school. Willie's influence stopped me from dropping out of school. I knew he was a fantastic body man and looked at it as an opportunity to learn from somebody. At that point, it piqued my interest and kept me in school and allowed me to go on to college.
Harms is proud of his students, but still fears young people have become too passive.
The modern generation, I worry about them. Their iPods and their video games and everything. To me, there's nothing accomplished in that. I don't have a computer. I don't even know how to turn one on.
Willie is a big man. You first meet Willie, he seems kind of like a gruff person. Willie's one of the most kind-hearted people I've ever met.
Born in hardship and made resourceful because of it, Willie Harms' legacy may not be the cars he saved. It may be an idea. It's the idea that you can do just about anything if you really put your mind to it.
I love to work with my hands. I've accomplished a lot of things with my hands. I feel good about the things that I've accomplished in my life. I think I'm kind of unique in the fact that I've been able to, no matter what I've set my mind to do, I've accomplished it, I've done it. I haven't been lazy, that's for sure.
If you have an idea for Northwest Profiles, send it to KSPS TV, 3911 South Regal, Spokane, Washington 99223. Northwest Profiles is a presentation of KSPS Public Television.